Well, I promised I'd be out in May, and in the nick of time too. 30th of May today, so I've just about kept my promise for getting a walk and camp in for May. Back on Dartmoor. Most of you who've watched this are probably familiar with this area now, but those of you that aren't, I'll just give you a quick swing around. So we've just flown over Dinger Tor, which of course is just up there, and I flew down towards Linz Tor just there, along the river, and then back again. And at the moment I'm heading in that direction, although the path is going that way, but I need to be going sort of that way and then that way, towards Great Linz Tor, and then Great Niset, and then Little Niset, and I'll have to decide which way to go when I get over here, whether to swing around over there and go up that little ridge there, because I don't really necessarily need Great Niset, I just want Little Niset. So I may actually go around that way. I haven't decided yet. So anyway, it's really nice to be back out again, and excuse the gaps in between camps. It's a bit unavoidable at the moment, but hopefully we'll get some more in over the coming months. But as I'm going to head off in that direction, and I'll catch you soon. Well, I was just at the base of Linz Tor, so I just wanted to have a quick reconnaissance down there, and then I crossed that small ford and then came in this direction, which eventually will take me to Little Niset. Great Niset is somewhere the other side of this hill. And even though I'm sort of going to the same place from a similar place, by going a slightly different route, Lassie gets to play in some completely new water. She's not found this water before, so of course this is great fun for her to splash around in a brand new water feature. So maybe we should call this film The Water Hound Strikes Back, or Return of the Water Hound. Okay, well it's 1:45, and this is almost certainly the earliest I've ever set camp. But set camp I have. It was like a clash between the MLD Supermed or the Super Tarp. I checked the forecast a couple of days ago, and they said that there were some gusts coming through, a bit like this. So I packed the Supermed. When I checked the forecast yesterday, there were no gusts. So at the last minute, I changed. When I said the last minute, literally in the car. I did a swap around in the car before coming out. I took out the Supermed and put in the Super Tarp. I think I made the right decision in the end. I'll just quickly show you Lassie. somewhere over there. So yeah, it really is a little bit on the blustery side up here, but it's not bad. And I have to say, it took me a few minutes to get a nice pitch on this. The super tarp does take some pegging down, so if anyone's thinking of getting a super tarp, then I do suggest about 16 pegs are probably required. So I've pegged out the front here. It's sort of a classic A shape. I've just pitched these two back parts, which are taking the brunt of the breeze, which is coming from my oh god, the wind's coming from my rear at the moment. So yeah, the wind's going in this direction directly towards it, so that's why I've just pegged those points down there. I've used just a small pole here just to raise this part up. As you can see, I've put the MLD Superlight bivvy inside, and despite a breeze outside and obviously a gaping hole at the back of the tarp, because of course pitching it like this you have a hole at the back, that's why it's called an A-frame. As you can see, despite all of that, there's hardly any rain, there's hardly any wind going into my rear. It's all coming out. So yeah, it's pretty sheltered under there. And then this is just an angle from this side, and as you can see on this side, I've used every single pegging point there to secure it. I've used one peg here, one from that one. This one here, I had a spare pole with me. It's always good to have a spare pole in case one doesn't work. So on this occasion here, I've just taken that line up to said pole and then down to a pegging point there, just to give that side a bit of an angle, and then back around to the front, and inside I've already set up here, so there aren't any bugs around, so I've just left the Superlight bivvy open. Did I say it was a Mountain Laurel Designs Superlight bivvy? So I mentioned that again. So it's an MLD Superlight bivvy I've brought on this occasion. Sleeping bag inside with a short mat on this occasion, and pillow, and then some spare socks, my leggings, and that's it. So I'm ready for bed now. Ready to go to sleep. It's not even 2 o'clock yet. Let's go and oh, it is breezy up here. Let's go and say hello to the water hound. Of course, she's there's probably the only bog around here, and of course she's gone and found it. But she's got about 8 hours until it's dark, so she's got plenty of time to dry off. As I say, this is of course little knee set. Great knee set is over there, and of course that's Fur Tor. Using these Comperdale poles, which I've had for probably a couple of years now. I don't use them that much, to be honest, but I brought these because they're very handy for tarps, because I can elongate my pole with that one. I can make my pole longer or shorter more easily, and it actually gets quite long, that one. I can extend that one quite high. Yeah, it actually goes higher than the pacer poles. So I brought this one to try and get a bit of extra height on the front here. Whether I've utilised exactly all the height of it is probably debatable in the end. But there you go. And of course I got those from MLD as well. And then the strap here, I normally of course remove all straps on poles, but the strap on here is a perfect phone holding tool. The sheep and lambs are braving it a bit. You can probably just see them. Lassie knows that they're totally out of bounds. It's quite pleasant. The temperature's about 18 or 19 degrees centigrade. I say the wind's, 10-15 miles an hour. That's very pleasant actually, just relaxing here. Okay, right, well a few interesting things have cropped up. I think this is largely due because I haven't camped all that much this year. So it's almost like I'm a bit out of practice. One thing I've come across is when you stop very early, like at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock like I did, you tend to munch through fuel quickly. So I've got some fuel going now, or some water going now for some cup of soups, and I may risk one more cup of tea later on. That's probably about it, 'cause I need enough just for one tea and porridge in the morning. I don't think I've ever got so close camping before on fuel, so that's certainly an interesting development. Phone, again, because I've been here earlier, I've been sort of sending a few messages, reading a bit on Kindle, and of course the battery went very low. I've got a power pack, and of course I thought it was usual story, I thought it was fully charged. I even checked it actually by pressing the buttons, and it said 4 lights came up. So assumption is the mother of all, whatever the words are, Under Siege 2 I think. So yeah, so I only had a tiny bit of power in the power pack, so I'm probably only going to get about 30 or 35% in my phone, but that's no bad thing. It's good to turn off electrical items when you're out in the wilds. As long as I've got a tiny bit of power left to for an emergency, then that's fine. I don't need the phone here, and there's no signal, virtually no signal here anyway. If you wander over to the edge of just to the edge of the hill there, you can get a bit of a signal there. So that's another thing that's gone wrong, sort of. No power pack, running out of fuel. Lassie, go back! Oi! Sorry, she was nearly walking over the stove. We'd have had a hot dog. The reason why she just let off a little yap is, as you can see, or you might be able to see, I can't quite tell. Yes, I think you can just see sheep. Yes, and then of course things always come in threes, as we know, and the third thing is, if you remember, I said I'd bought 2 new batteries for the Phantom. One obviously worked perfectly over there, I got a good flight. I put the second one in to do a flight around here, and either the Phantom's broken, which I don't think, or the second battery is faulty, which I do think. The reason why that is, as you probably know, I have the monitor, and the monitor flashes when the battery gets low. And of course the batteries for the Phantom, even when they're fully charged, if they're faulty, whether they're fully charged or not, and they have no power in them. So I have a feeling that I've got a faulty battery from Amazon, so that needs to go back, so that's a nuisance. But that's all three things that have gone wrong, or haven't not gone wrong, but you know what I mean. Haven't quite gone according to plan, but everything's, you know, perfect here. Oh, one other thing. Actually, this is almost a fourth thing. Earlier on, the wind was coming from this direction, and it's now coming from this direction. So I'm not sure how obvious this is, but I have moved slightly, not much, and in fact I think it's a bit lower than it was before, but I have just ever so slightly shifted the super tarp that way just to compensate, and I just need to put a couple of pegs in over there if they're ready to go in. So it's 7:15, so there's still 2 hours left of daylight, and that's it. So there's a lot of time actually to have spare and not be able to read on your phone. But I have to say the last 7 hours have flown by, and the sheep are definitely encroaching. Anyone would think the sheep own this land up here. This is our land, go away. 1, 2, 3, 4 Dartmoor ponies with a cow and a calf behind. So yeah, Dartmoor ponies. Never seen ponies quite so close to camp before. Nearly ready for settling in, I think, now. I've pegged down the tarp fully on this side now. Lass's had her food, I've had mine, had my cup of soup, I've had my tea. I'm now ready for settling in. So I've packed away the phantom stuff there. Lass's bed is over there. Obviously I've just put my cooking utensils as near to me as possible so I can cook without having to get up or out of bed in the morning. Spare clothes here if needed, food there, fuel, tea, water and water. And then things I'm not really going to need during the night is my pack, rubbish, waste, and just a couple of bits and bobs there. So everything's pretty much organised, ready for the night now. With the super tap, just to help keep the top up, I've just utilised an extra piece of cord here, run it through the lines or through the loops on the top of the super tap, just to give it some stability across its spine. And I'll see you all either before night's out or in the morning. But I wish you good night from me, and I wish you good night from her. As you may just, oh, and good morning by the way. It's 6:50 in the morning. As you can see, there is some dew outside. Well, you may be able to see that, I'm not quite sure. and you may just be able to see some drops on the bivvy and on Lass's bed there. So I think we've actually come to sort of one of those rare occasions. In fact, this is probably the first time it's ever happened to me where I've been under a tap and I've had more splashing dew, or a tent even. I've had more splashing dew from condensation and things like that than anything else. And that's obviously what it is, because there's no clouds or anything. And in fact, Lassie decided to stay outside all night. She never once came in, well, at least not that I'm aware. It's very, very windy. I don't know what the wind speed is out there, but it is very windy. The forecast did gust winds of up to 25-30 miles per hour, and it's definitely windier now than it was last night when I went to bed, and things are definitely shaking and rattling a bit more. But I'm still pleased that I brought the super tarp. It was certainly worth giving it a trial and seeing how it went in conditions like this. So, the wind is blowing in this direction, that way. So it's coming from the north. I don't know whether I would have been maybe better off pitching it with the tail facing the wind, but then the wind would have just come straight through like a tunnel. So anyway, I'm sure there are lots of different, I'm sure there are more than one, I'm sure there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. Let's see, I wonder where that expression came from. Of course, there's condensation inside, and that's being splashed down. But so yeah, when you're in a tap like this, you definitely do need more coverage inside, like a bivvy. I've never noticed it with the Trail Star or the Super Mid, bizarrely, so quite why there's quite so much splashing down here, I don't know. Very interesting. But anyway, I need a cup of tea with what fuel I've got left, which is plenty for this morning. And so Lassie seems very comfortable there. She's not bothered by it at all. So porridge made and tea made. And I've put Lass's bed away because she wasn't using it. She's still out there. As you can see what you can see Fair Talk right through that. But it's apart from that wind, and the wind isn't emanating from under here, it looks a nice day out there. If that wind would die down a bit, it would be really, really nice. Well, this is the end of the walk virtually. So it's been quite windy, so I haven't stopped to do any filming today. And I just wanted to, to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all again soon, hopefully within the next month. See you soon. Take care. Bye.